Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, in the Ninja Nation, where we talk about all things ninja all the time. This is Peter Parnig, host for the Ninja Nation, with the grand finale of our November business planning series. Today, in just a very short time, we will all have finished our 2020 business plan. That will be a wonderful accomplishment, which hopefully will put you in a fantastic frame of mind for the best flow time of the year, the holidays. Go ahead and download the business plan worksheet right now before we start. And you'll notice that we call it your wealth creation plan for 2020. Here's the key. Business plans create wealth, wealth creates freedom, and freedom allows us to live the life we dream about. So let's go ahead and jump on this. One of our beliefs is based on the law of compensation from the Go-Giver. That law says your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. We focus on units, which is really a way of counting how many people you serve. So we have to be able to convert our intended income to units. I'm going to put a formula in the email and do this before we start because I'm not going to go over it right now in the video. Let's just go ahead and make our business plan together right now. It says, My Wealth Business Creation Plan for 2020. By the way, it's on page 86 of your installation manual. Put your name, obviously. And here's the key. I intend to earn blank in 1099 income this year. That comes from your financial planning goal sheet that you did a couple of 3 weeks ago. With the Ninja Success Formula, where one name equals $1,000, write down how many people you need to have in your database right now. For example, if you want to make $173,000 this year, you need to have at least 173 people on your database. Round up a little bit rather than round down. So that goes in blank too. Now, you'll notice it says my number in all caps. Here's our thinking. We want to get your number of transactions literally burned into your psyche, into your intention for the whole year. And we call it my number. So once you do the formula to convert your income to units above, that will be my number. So for example, could be 23, could be 44, because now we're knowing exactly how many people you intend to serve this year. The next line is an interesting one. It's confusing a little bit, but it'll be clear in just a second. It says, I intend to carry, or I will carry, blank number of sellable listings this year. Please do not confuse this with the number of listings you will take. Think a store, a retailer. As a listing agent, you have to have a certain number of listings on the shelf in your store at all times to create the income you hope. Here's the key. We all have a set point. Remember that concept around homeostasis and reprogramming? We all have a set point about how many listings we feel comfortable carrying at any given moment. If you've been in the business for a while, the question's pretty simple. How many listings do you like to carry? Almost everybody has a number in mind. That's your set point. If you're trying to dramatically increase your income, for example, you even want to double it, whatever that set point is for number of listings you normally carry, you're going to have to change that appropriately. So if you're used to carrying 4 and you want to double your income, you're going to have to become used to carrying 8 listings. I hope that's clear, but it's a really important nuance because you can't double your income carrying the same amount of listings that you're normally accustomed to. Then it says the listing fee that I charge is, and that's really to remind yourself of charging for your value. The next line is, I currently have blank number of people on my SOI in my database. Your first and most important goal in creating a business plan is to right size your database. So let's know where you start and where you have to go. And then it says, I need to add blank to get to the correct number in my database and account for depreciation of my database. Do you remember what the rate of depreciation is on a database? It's about 15%. Here's why this matters. Let's say you want to make $200,000. You need to have 200 people on your database, which maybe you do right now. But you have to count on about 30 of those people either leaving your area, going into the real estate business, maybe leaving the planet. And so you really always have to have a mindset of rebuilding and adding people to your database. Now finally, in order to achieve my number, which is the number of units, I agree to the to do the following. Daily and weekly activities. Number 1, start by saying my gratitudes. Number 2, write 2 personal notes. Number 3, review my hot list daily, review my warm list daily, and then where it says make blank live contacts weekly, 50. Remember from success habit number 8 in Ninja? Make 50 live contacts weekly, and then read 10 pages of something inspirational, whether you do it a day or a week, but make sure in your morning routine you're feeding your mind protein rather than junk food. Now, weekly, have a Monday morning meeting with myself. Remember the Monday morning agenda? Do your 2 live real estate reviews. Go ahead and attend a skills group if it's offered in your company. Please make sure you attend your sales meeting. Use the Ninja scorecards. And number 9, keep my database and referral sources updated. Don't forget number 6, your customer service calls as well. Now, turn over the page, and at the top for flow, it says, I agree to send 36 items of value, part art, part science, to my database this year. Remember, our idea is 2 mailed pieces every month and 1 email. Because, open rates, people don't see and don't get emails. They get sent to spam, sent to junk. And if you're relying on email, you're just going to miss about 80% of your customers and your friends. So you got to send 2 hard mail pieces a month. Put your manager on your list so they'll know that you're doing it. And then finally, I will budget $2 per name per month. And this is straight from the installation. Go ahead and make your flow calendar as quickly as possible so you can set it and forget it. Because guess what? If you try and do that month by month, you'll always be going, I don't have a postcard, I don't have a postcard. Make December your get ready to launch your flow month. And if you don't have a printer that you like, ExpressDocs is pretty darn good. Lastly, the 3 things I will do to differentiate myself this year are, number 1, use the pre-listing interview. Number 2, use the 10-step buyer process and the 16-step seller process. Number 3, I will follow and implement the business plan on page 88 and 89 in my installation manual. Now, the 3 things I will do to save time this year. Number 1, use the pre-listing interview. Yep, just like the above. Number 2, use the 10-step buyer process and the 16-step seller process. Number 3, go ahead and write anything you want. Now, do me a favor. Take your hand like this, put it over your shoulder, and now pat yourself on the back. You know why? You have finished a business plan. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have never had a written business plan before? You've labored in October and November trying to get one done, and then either it was too complicated or you didn't know where to start. Guess what? Having a seriously clear, simple to follow business plan should make 2020 an absolutely astounding year. Thank you for joining us here in the Ninja Nation. This is the Thanksgiving week, which you know is Ninja Week.